So Jeepers Creepers is a horror movie that came out back in 2001. In this movie, you basically have these two characters. One's called Trish and the other's called Derry or Jerry. And both of them are like siblings. They're like coming back from like spring break or summer break or whatever. I'm not from the US and I'm from the UK, so I don't really know how it works over there. As they're driving in a little crappy car in the countryside, they're just having a little, a bit of banter, a bit of chit chat, a bit of banter, chit chat. The dialogue is so great in terms of like, it feels like they're genuinely brothers and sisters. Props to these actors at the start. And as they're like bickering and bickering, you see like a van from the background. You can clearly see that it's the focus, right? But then at the same time, it's not the focus. Slowly and slowly and slowly, it just gets even closer and closer. And I feel like what I like about this movie so much, everything just starts off so quickly. We're starting straight up the bat, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And it's so like scary as well because you can't actually see anyone through the windshield because it's like literally pitch black. Constantly the main character like is trying to like turn left, turn right, but then the truck is just literally basically like teasing them or just, I don't know, you don't really know on it. And I think when I first watched this film, I was probably like, I must have been like around maybe like 8, 9, maybe 7. It's one of those situations where it was just so exciting because like it was so creepy to me because obviously when I was a kid and like, I hadn't seen that many horror movies, so obviously of course back then I found it a lot more scarier. And I also wanted to talk about it because it's arguably one of my most favorite horror movies of all time. But before I continue, if you're into like the horror genre or you just like horror in general, then you should subscribe to this channel because I'll be talking about that a lot, and I also talk about other movie genres as well, but prioritize horror. So yeah, man, let's get back to it. So eventually after the truck stops like playing around with the main characters, you have the protagonist that is kind of like, what the hell just happened? I mean, anyone would be like kind of like scared about that situation. Fast forward, you see them still driving, and then next you know, you see like an abandoned church, and you can see this man walking with like a cloth full of bloodstains, dumping things in a hole in the church area. You can assume, oh, it's dead bodies. I mean, not I guess you can assume it is dead bodies. I mean, it's pretty much common sense when you see it. When I saw this scene, yeah, I was just like it got me so scared because it's one of them situations where that can easily happen to anyone. Like you can easily be driving in like an abandoned area in the countryside where it's isolated, no one's there to help you. He eventually sees like obviously the main characters and he's standing there like this. You can't actually see the guy's face because he's from like a distance in it. He's wearing like a cowboy hat in it. The thing this film gets so right is the whole creepiness. All I know, yeah, is that if I was in that situation, yeah, I'll be in a Fast and Furious movie at that point, speeding up on that pedal, fam. I don't care how crap my car is, we're going at full speed, fam, literally. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be seeing that and then not, speed up on my car. It creates more tension because obviously their car is like rubbish and crap, so it's not as fast in it. But then you see this truck eventually goes back in the truck and starts chasing after him again after, the guy witnesses them seeing him throw the bodies in there. Such an amazing start to like a film. This is easily has one of like the best openings of all time when it comes to horror movies. It just starts with a bang, boom boom bang, let's go. They ain't playing around, like they just get to the point, which I like. I love horror movies that just get to the point and don't waste our time. In terms of the characters, they are likable. Like at the start they do a good job at making you kind of like both characters. I feel like I like Trish a lot more. She's more like the smart one. Within a scene where obviously they found out that it was most likely bodies that were being dumped in a hole in it, yeah, you have the character Derry or Jerry who's like, maybe we should go back. I'm just thinking to myself like, wait, what? One of the problems I have with that character Derry is that it's one of them situations where it's like, I don't care who you are, yeah, ain't no way in hell someone's going back to help whoever supposedly could be alive in that hole. How stupid are you? That really like irritates me. But to be fair, there are people that are stupid enough to actually go back in it. You have the character, the sister Trish, saying that, in those horror movies where they make a dumb decision or something, and then she was like, this is one of those decisions. Basically the writer saying that, yeah, we understand this is a dumb choice and we're obviously just acknowledging it through this character Trish in it. Whatever, innit? Because obviously if Derry didn't go back or if Trish didn't go back, there'd be no movie. Like they would have probably just drove off and then that's it. When he goes down the whole Derry, he ends up seeing all these like next up like dead bodies that are on the walls and the ceilings, bodies that are stitched back together. It's not forcing any scares, it's not forcing any jump scares. Everything just feels like natural. It flows really well. For a 2001 movie, this movie still looks like good to look at. Because a lot of time, people might think, oh, that movie came out in 2001. I ain't watching that. I ain't watching that movie. But if you rewatch it and you actually see it, or if you actually just watch it for the first time, it really isn't that bad. Like it looks nice to look at still. It's not one of them movies where it kind of ages. It feels like it still ages well. It's one of them movies where it's like a hunting game where you have the the main protagonist trying to just like get help. That's where it really just starts to just get juicy and very like scary and intense. The movie does a good job at making the two protagonists feel like they're isolated and alone, even though they do come across like a lot of civilians. They're trying to help them out. They might be around a lot large number of people, but it still gives you that sense that they're alone with this like creepy guy that's, you know, now chasing after them. And then eventually they get to a point where they end up seeing the man, or so-and-so man that we supposedly think is a man, who's actually like this ugly ass, creepy ass monster. And you're just thinking, oh my days. To me, it was shocking because obviously I didn't know that this guy was like a monster or creature. You have like this sidekick who, you know, kind of like lists the law where she basically states that every 21st spring for 23 days it gets to eat. This monster that's chasing after them, it basically lives for 23 days and goes back into hibernation for 23 years. Whilst it's alive during the 23 days, it goes on like a killing spree. Find parts of the human body it wants. It could be certain things, it could be their eyes, it could be their heart, it could be their nose. And it does that by, you know, creating fear, making the person scared, and it starts to like, I guess, like sniff like some crackhead. Like it's very disturbing how he does it as well, because the way he does it when he's sniffing and just like kind of just like sniffing the air, really seasoning up those organs just to know and trying to find out what it wants. It just looks so like wrong, like, in a way. I wouldn't necessarily say this movie is like a gory movie. It's a monster movie in it, but like it's not one of them movies where you see like a lot of blood, to be honest. It's more so you get kills mainly for shock value, but it doesn't take away from the movie in my opinion. I don't think a movie has to have gore in the whole movie to be good, especially if it's a monster movie. You don't need to have gore. You can still make effective kills, which I feel like in this movie 100% it is. In terms of like the special effects, because obviously this monster has like these abilities, so it requires a lot of special effects that you see in the film. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but honestly in my opinion it's not that deep. To me it's not a big deal. I've seen worse, and I feel like the thing I like about this creature is that there's so much mystery behind him. How long has he been around? Who made him? Why does he only have 23 days to do what he does? Imagine this ugly ass thing was in my house. Oh my goodness, fam. Oh my days, fam. And at that point I'd have to jump out my window and learn how to fly. You're just rooting for the characters to hopefully make it out alive. I feel like the highlight of this movie was the way the creeper looked. If the creeper looked very like terrible, I feel like it would have taken away from the movie, because then the tension to me wouldn't have been any good. Props to the actor that played the creeper, because he done a fantastic job. You know, Trisha and Derry, like the acting from both of those two were amazing. That's what made this movie like such a great movie that I would recommend to anyone. But anyways, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you thought about this movie, if you hated it or if you loved it. Anyways, in a bit, man.